Is this thing on?
Hello, we are here. Now this is going to be a rather hype match. In the winners bracket finals, neither North American team has lost yet. And we have an NA finals. And whichever team loses is going to be playing against the winner of losers round 5, which we'll see on Sunday. And that's next weekend. But the winning team is going to be going on and guaranteeing themselves a spot in grand finals.
Yeah, and this match definitely been looked forward to for the entirety of the tournament by, I'd say, everybody. Very much expected matchup. I'd say the two strongest teams in the tournament by a decent margin. The UK, I think, has a fighting chance against Canada, but overall, I just think Canada has a little bit of an edge over UK.
Yeah, I think for sure Canada and their accuracy lineup is just too strong. I think Canada is probably a little more rounded than the UK team is.
I'd say towards the lower difficulty side of the bracket, Canada definitely has an upper hand, I'd say. The UK aren't slackers when it comes to AC. Like, definitely not slacking. But Canada is just very strong at that particular kind of map, and I'm pretty sure the US is the only team that could possibly beat them at AC maps. That's just because the US team is just so rounded. Pretty much everyone is god tier at every kind of play in Beat Saber, and it seems like the UK kind of lends itself towards, while some of them are good at AC maps, they can also be very good at just faster maps in general as well. And Canada definitely leans towards the more easy side of the difficulty spectrum.
Yeah, USA is kind of one of those teams with no real weaknesses, and Canada, I think, is going to have a really hard time, like you're saying, on the higher end of things. But I think in the lower difficulties, especially on AC, Canada has a really competitive chance.
Oh, definitely. I could definitely see a world where Canada wins 2 AC maps if they pick 2 AC maps.
Yeah.
It would be extremely stupid of the US to not ban AC map.
Yeah, it would be.
Even though I'd say they're probably relatively confident that they could maybe beat them on those AC maps. In addition, they might want to make a statement. You never know.
Yeah. So for Canada, we have Flea, BC, Electro, and Monsterwook as their main speed lineup. And then we have SFK, Hiron, Whisper, and Abby as their main accuracy lineup. You'll see some of them swapped around. And then for USA, you got Garsh, Estrella, Snowy, Zarix, Carrot, Schwank, Galcian, and Luxus.
Yeah, so on the side of the US, you got some extremely consistent players, but then you look over at Canada, and I'd say some of the Canadian players are the most consistent players to ever play. Like, Flea is one of the greatest examples of just, like, I'd say Flea is the most consistent overall competitive player in Beat Saber. While he used to be a little bit more towards the higher end of the spectrum of players, he's kind of fallen a little bit, but he's still always going to be a force to be reckoned with. And obviously, Electro stats, BC, always good competitors and have been high level players for a very long time. Whereas some of the US players who have been around for a long time, but only recently kind of climbed super high. I say recently, but that's like within the last 6 months to a year for me. Like Estrella, Zyrix has always been a good player, and Garsh, he's always been good, but sometimes I feel like he kind of does his own thing. He's not really in the spotlight, I'd say. But he's also extremely consistent, very strong player. Snowy, extremely good accuracy player, especially really has a reputation for being extremely good at getting that accuracy on stream maps and stuff like that.
Yeah. So actually, sorry, no. If you're gonna keep explaining a team, go for it.
I was just gonna say, for the rest of the players on the US team, Sarah and Schwank are relatively I'm saying relatively new, but obviously they're not. Um, and then Gaelican and Luxus are long-term players. Always been strong, especially Luxus. Luxus is like the low-key god who just plays like weird shit, like lots of tech stuff, and he's just a really strong player in general. Kind of like a pocket pick for a lot of stuff.
Yeah, can kind of clean up some of the weird stuff. I believe both teams actually have 4 legends in the 115 guild too. I know for Canada, actually no, I think Canada might. No,
I'm
I
pretty
think
sure.
I think they only have 4, which is Flea, SFK, Whisper, and Abby.
Yeah.
Um, and then for USA, I know Snowy's up there, Zyrex, Estrella, and I believe Schwank, maybe Carrot. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not as familiar with the accuracy side of the house. That's like my weakest point with Beat Saber. I'm definitely not much into the act side of things.
Yeah.
So a lot of that knowledge I'll glean from this tournament. No, like gaining some more knowledge about that whole accuracy side of it.
Yeah, accuracy is kind of one of the weirder parts of Beat Saber and something you don't really notice for a while. But it does make a big difference, especially in tournaments like this. And actually, a lot of these USA players weren't legends before the World Cup. Whoops actually forced them to play the 115 guild campaign until either they got legend or their eyes bled. And thank God that most of them got legend.
Well, that's the thing is, while the thing about some of the US players is that they haven't really extended to like make it a point that they are as good as they are. They don't really like put themselves out on a pedestal trying to show like, hey, I'm the best at this. They're more low key. They kind of have a better time just like hanging out, just having a good time playing the game. But they're actually just the best players that exist. Like,
yeah.
when
USA players kind of let their scores show for it. They don't really talk about it much. They don't have to, because you see all these people's scores like right at the top, and everybody has huge respect for the players on the USA team.
Definitely, you have to have some kind of respect for the level of play that the U.S. players stay at. You know, out of the top 4 players, 3 of them are from the U.S. So, Taichi's the unbeatable robot we all know and love, but you know, Estrella. I want to say it's Estrella Garsh, and I can't remember what the other one is.
I think that's it, because I think it's Taichi.
Is it Zyra?
Hello, right now.
Ooh.
Oh wait, no. Okay,
Sphinx
so
has been climbing. Just kidding.
Sphinx, Estrella, Taichi, Sarah, Hello, Garsh.
Right. So Sarah, Estrella, Garsh. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but unfortunately, P. Topar, I think his name is. He came out of nowhere recently. He's extremely good.
Yeah, I haven't really talked with him. Everybody's in chat here is hoping that Electrostats can actually keep power this time and doesn't get struck by lightning.
That would be quite unfortunate.
He got struck by lightning in their last match. Well, not him, but his power went out because of a lightning strike in his last match. So
I would hope it wasn't him that got struck by lightning. That would be quite unfortunate.
Yeah, it'd be really bad. It's really bad for accuracy. So I did do a little bit of interviews again, and this time I asked a little bit about the players. And so you're gonna hear some interesting details about some of the players from each team. So one of my questions was, who would you consider the comic relief of your team? And apparently it's King Razor for USA. He's actually a practice sub, so he's not on the USA main lineup. But apparently he's pretty young, and he just, like, in the least formal times ends up just screaming about some map that he missed or whatever.
Sounds about right.
And it always gets a laugh out of the US team. And then for Team Canada, we got Whisper. Apparently he's just too goofy. I haven't actually talked with Whisper yet, so I'm not sure, but I could see it. I can see Whisper. He's a little bit of a practical joker. And then my next question was, who would you consider the wild card of your team? For USA, it's Garsh. He can do anything and exceed. There's nothing Garsh can't do. Like,
Definitely.
apparently you can just toss Garsh on anything, like PPV1 garbage, and Garsh will get number 1.
Yeah, Garsh is very consistent, strong all-around player.
And then for Team Canada, it's either Flea or BC Kill, which are really good at most types of map. I could definitely see that with Flea. Flea really exceeds in AC and speed overall. He's probably one of the most feared people to go up against in a tournament.
Definitely. He's highly respected. He's one of the most respected Beat Saber players. Just the way that he carries himself, as well as his performance in a tournament setting, has just always been something that is very impressive. So a lot of players have tons of respect for Flea.
Picks and bans. Who will get the higher roll? Predict now in chat for a free set of oxygen. Right in front of your face.
That is very valuable. I would definitely need that oxygen.
Who's gonna win the dice roll? Nobody knows. I know Flea likes to blow on his keyboard before he rolls the dice, so sometimes that might make a difference.
Oof.
I wish I would have actually gotten stats for it. Oh my god, whoops, it's rigged. A 3. I don't think Flea's actually lost a dice roll. He's that strong.
Weighted dice.
Yeah. It's cheating.
But now that we're taking a look at the song pool here for the winners finals, this was one of my personal, so myself, part of the map pool team, hee hee ha ha. This is one of the favorite pools I think that we put together.
I really like this pool. There's so many technical components to it that I just love.
Yeah. Fenorza is definitely a map that people either like or dislike. So in a tournament setting, people might be opposed to something like Fenorza, but I think that it's a good map for... I think that more maps like Fenorza with a little bit less like...
In your face attitude?
Yeah. Triangles. It's a little bit less sterile than a lot of the other maps. People tend to not like those kinds of maps as much.
Yeah, it's always coming at you with some new stuff. It mixes around a lot. It's not like super lame. Big prediction on bans though. I think that we are going to see probably Gate 1 banned from USA.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And then from Canada, I think we're gonna see them banning Shinbatsu. Big prediction there. It's not like I already knew, saw it, but I was gonna put the stamina maps.
You were right about the US ban though.
Nicely done. Baby. Let's go. Now we are probably gonna see US pick up something like boosts of fighters, trying to tire out Canada before they play AC. I think is gonna be the big plan. If not, we might see something like a little more technical.
Yeah, I'd say that the US picks are going to be trying to get Canada out of their comfort zone. These maps, a lot of them are balanced, but especially in the... Say that again, sorry?
USA picked Packet Hero, by the way.
Oh, I see. Packet Hero, I'm a little bit surprised by that pick, to be honest. It's probably one of the most balanced songs in the pool. I think the highest chance of Canada having a map over them in the normal pool.
Yeah, it's 8 notes per second. It's pretty... It's not exactly crazy. I think that Garden is actually Canada's best chance because they're pretty good at that technical stuff. They play a lot of technical act. But when it comes for like Packet Hero, it's like 8 notes per second, 4 minutes 30 seconds long. It's pretty long, 23 NJS, not a lot of breaks, but it's kind of a mid-speed song with like a little bit of technicality mixed in. Like there's a few weird patterns in there that might trip you up.
It's in typical Hex fashion. Starts out a little bit easier, and towards the end the patterns get more and more complicated, and then there's like a big difficulty spike towards the end, and that's like where you could see some misses coming out from the different teams.
Yeah, like there's quite a few burst streams and jumps. And you can see some like bursty one saber patterns, but like they're all in the bottom row though, so they're pretty much like one saber streams, but they're all with dots. Um, I think overall this map has a lot of dot notes, and there's a lot of bottom row doubles. You'll notice,
Yep.
which is
Overall, it is a relatively balanced map compared to, I'd say, even more balanced than, let's say, 1F from Camellia.
yeah. Well, you like when you get to this kind of difficulty, like what you end up seeing a lot is just jumps and a lot of stacks and sliders. So it's really nice to break that kind of status quo of the maps we normally see. And that's one thing I really like about this map pool is it's got a lot of different flavors of map for each different person. It makes the map or the bands a little more particular.
Yeah, definitely. That was the biggest appeal that we wanted to go for with the map pools, was appealing to each player's possible strong suits. Um, whether that was including a certain amount of technical maps, whether that was including a certain amount of act maps, etc., etc. Um, so if a player likes to think that they're stronger at maybe more stamina heavy maps, and they think that they have the upper edge over another team on stamina maps, then they could pick stamina maps. You know, it goes back and forth as far as who has the advantage in different kinds of maps.
Well, isn't that just a cute baby on Flea Stream there, by the way? Just for
Nice ad.
know your enemies. I feel like that fits really well. These two teams really do need to know who their enemies are. Everyone's like kind of twitching out a little bit, getting ready to go, pumped up.
Yeah, everyone getting prepared for the match. Gonna be getting into Packy Hero here soon after the sync. I'm definitely expecting the US to come out on top on this map. I think that there's possibility of Canada having a strong performance. I just don't think that the US players will have misses like the Canadian players might.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this first map is really going to define what the captains actually go for because I think they have kind of a good idea about what they want, but they're not quite sure. Also, Luxus missed right
Yeah,
off the bat, and
Garsh missed as
Garsh.
well. It looks like a Hiron and Flea. Yeah.
Hiron having a really tough time though, like down at 80%.
Yeah, I think he had a good amount of misses towards the beginning. I'm not sure if he was caught off guard or what happened, but maybe he had a tracking issue. I'm not sure. Looks like he's just having a hard time with some of those angles there. Down at 87 act, but he could be climbing. Looks like he missed again, unfortunately though.
His computer might actually be struggling a little bit there. I'm not quite sure, but it looks like he is kind of picking up his game now. Garrett actually at like a 96 right before I actually said anything, and then he missed a note. So
Yeah.
that is unfortunate.
And actually, impressively, countering what I said before this song started, the Electro and BC are holding those full combos, and all the US players have missed. While Garsh is holding up that combo, as I say that, he misses again, but the US just has that upper hand on the accuracy. Hiron's really pulling down the Canadian team.
Yeah. Having a really tough time. I'm not sure if that's tracking, but if there was, there may be a tracking code come out of this because the US is like a full percent ahead here.
Yeah. I don't know if it is tracking because I did see that he was missing a lot on some of those angles. Maybe he just had a hard time with that intro. I'm not sure. But
Yeah,
he is coming back, has a strong combo now, getting back up to that 91. So bringing that gap back a little bit as far as keeping up with the US. But then again, the hack is also building up for the US team.
Yeah, Electro just dropped FC2. You'll notice the BC kill actually has full combo and Carrot's missed one, but Carrot's actually ahead in accuracy.
Yep, Sarah's accuracy is extremely strong. BC right behind him with that full combo, and as I say that, he drops as well. So Sarah up ahead, 0.4% on the accuracy. We're starting to get into the second half of the song, so a lot of these patterns are going to get more complicated, and looking forward to see how each team handles the new patterns too.
Yeah, Hiron's back up at a 91%, but like knowing Hiron, I think he'd probably get a 94 at least on this. So it's really dragging it down. It would have been a lot closer of a match otherwise.
Yeah, I could see him towards the end of the song, maybe building up towards a 93. I mean, that's if he performs extremely well the rest of the song. He is getting over that 92, bringing that accuracy difference back up for Canada, but US is holding that 95 as a team, and I don't know if they can come back to beat that.
Yeah, like if you look at the other players on Team Canada, they're all in that same like 95 area that you see on US side. And right now, Hiron's just struggling to keep up. So I don't know if this is very indicative of what kind of maps we're going to be seeing here, and like if this is an issue for Canada, or if it was just kind of like a one-time tracking thing or a one-time mental mistake.
I definitely think that this was maybe a bit of a fluke miss or mess up for Hiron. I feel it looks like he's a stronger player than his performance has shown in the rest of the song. Having an unfortunate miss there, that just sucks, but yeah, he's still climbing an axe, so maybe he can bring it back a little bit more. Flea is also climbing up to that 95.
Yeah, some of these diagonal windows on this map are really cool, and as you said, it kind of picks up in speed near the end, and we are getting pretty close to the end of the song. With about 40 seconds left, and I don't think that Canada has enough to really close that 0.7 gap.
Yeah, this is the last difficulty spike here with these windows, and it looks like a lot of the Canadian players struggled with that. Sarah holding combo, Luxus and Garsh as well. Schwank did miss in that section, but
yeah, Hiron looks like got the reset too.
Flea did hold combo through that, but the rest of the Canadian team really struggling with that section. I saw several misses on Electro's screen there.
Yeah, the gap actually did not get that much larger, but yeah, that 1% is really just going to nail it in that US is going to win this one unless there's a tracking call.
Yeah, definitely. There's a possibility of Hiron calling that tracking call. I did not see whether he did have tracking issues or not, so I would think it would be silly for Canada to use their tracking on this song, though.
Yeah. But, you know, at the same time, this might be one of their only really chances here because they don't have a ton of maps they can legitimately take against the USA. But it seems like, yeah, there's not going to be a tracking call, even if there was. I think Hiron just between like the nerves and the complexity of the map really got in his own head and forgot to reset a couple times there.
Yeah, Luxus and Flea super close to each other within 60 points. Good matchup for them. Flea definitely having a really strong performance on that map.
Yeah.
You know, holds up that consistency that we were talking about in the team screens.
Yeah, so I think we'll probably just end up seeing Canada pick up Thought Crime here. They're down mentally a little bit, and I think they need a little bit of a boost.
Definitely. I expect them to make that pick, see if they can get that upper hand on one ACK map. I wouldn't be surprised if they took it. You never know with ACK maps, though, because one miss could mean the song. So
I also wouldn't be super surprised if Canada picks something like In the Garden.
I really think it would be inadvisable to do anything other than the ACK map.
Well, the ACK map's going to be available the whole time, so it doesn't really matter when they pick it up.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
So they might try to do a little bit more experimenting in this first round of picks here.
I really hope that one of the teams picks Boost the Fighters because that song is a jammer. I love that song.
But that might be USA's Excalibur here.
Maybe.
BC is scary, and he could definitely handle a map like that. Actually, I think most of the speed players could. I'm not sure about Wook, but I know that Electro, BC, and Flea would probably hold their own in it. But I don't think they would excel as well as the United States does. Like their stamina is just unstoppable.
Yeah, the biggest difference that we would see here between these two teams is either on Cronier or on Shimbatsu. You could see a huge difference between the US and Canada on those two maps. That's my guess, but you know, Canada came out with that ban on Shimbatsu, and I think they felt that same kind of pressure. I wouldn't be surprised if the US picks Cronier, maybe they want to not tire themselves out too early, but that would definitely be a map they could take.
So looking at the Canadian pick here, they picked 1F1E33, which is hexadecimal, but subverting my expectations every time of what Canada is gonna pick. And like I said, I think they could experiment a little bit, and I guess this is kind of them trying to prove that they can win one of these, less technical mid-speed maps against USA.
Yeah, I think Canada really trying to show that they do feel confident on something that's a little bit more balanced and not as fast as something else. That map it's not a slow map, definitely. It does have some patterns that might catch you off guard, lots of sliders, but it is balanced, and I could see Canada maybe having a very strong performance on it. But I can't see them beating the US.
So Canada's swapping out Hiron for Monster Wook this time around, keeping all the other players the same. USA has a few changes. They're running Zyrex, Estrella, Seret, and Luxus. So this time around, they swapped out Garsh and Schwank for Zyrex and Estrella.
Yeah, I think that's an upward trajectory. Although all of those players on the U.S. team could equally outperform, I'd say, on this map. Getting into it, looking forward to seeing how Canada performs. Maybe they can hold up some of that consistency.
Yeah, so this is one of the shorter maps in the pool. We got about 2 minutes 48 seconds of time. There's 10.7 notes per second though. The NJS is a little lower at about 21. But yeah, there's a lot of notes coming at you quick, and this is really through and through a jump map. Like 90% of it is jumps. It almost has more notes in the top row than the bottom row, which is a lot to say. But it's got every flavor of jump. It's got regular jumps, stack jumps, it's got windows, it's got sliders, it's got crossovers, everything mixed in. Got diagonal jumps, horizontal jumps. Like if you can imagine a jump, it's probably in this map. You get the idea. And especially at 11 notes per second, or almost 11 notes per second, like it's a scary map.
Yep. A lot of those notes per second come from the sliders though, so it's a little bit inflated. Artificial difficulty as far as the notes per second, but
when it's all jumps, you're moving your arms a lot too. So
yeah, of course.
Both players doing really well. Seret stream dying. Seems like Luxus actually dropped one right in the beginning again.
Yeah, Luxus had the same problem with the last map. I don't know if he's just kind of out of it or just kind of got caught off guard. I doubt he played the map, to be honest.
Map lag issue too. That's the thing that happens with Beat Saber a lot. I'm not sure, but
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he FC'd, to be honest.
So it seems that Estrella is actually sight reading this one, and he's still holding combo and a 96.2, which is really strong.
Yeah, I mean, an expected performance from Estrella, to be honest. His overall strength as a player is he's just one of the best right now. You can expect the best from Estrella. He's always going to outperform his competition. Pretty much, he's our...
is in the lead right now.
Oh, yeah.
It's close. It's back and forth. Well. Yeah, BC's popping off. Flea dropped a little while back, which means that they've only got 3 combos on Canada's side now to match up with USA's also 3 combos. But Luxus dropped his combo right at the beginning, so it may not have had as large of an effect.
Oh, definitely not. That one miss towards the beginning is not going to hurt his act too much. He will be able to get back up to a high 95, definitely. I think some of the Canadian players with those misses, I think they're going to have a much harder time getting back up in act.
Yeah, Electro dropped a couple there, Monster Wook dropped 1, and, there's a 0.8% lead again. And I think this is kind of just what we're going to see throughout the speed maps. Maybe if we end up playing some more technical maps, we might see a little bit closer of a gap, but I know that USA has also been practicing and playing a lot of tech. So yeah. I don't think that it's really going to make that large of a difference. I think Canada's biggest chance here is to play the accuracy maps.
Yeah. BC is overperforming, in my opinion, with this one. He's doing extremely well. destroying Estrella, honestly, in the act department. Point 2 is a big difference here. And he's just holding that FC. And it's surprising because BC used to be number 1, used to be one of those top echelon players, and he took a break, but he's coming back recently. And there it
Oh
is.
yeah, came back hard. Wook actually dropped one near the end too. And there was 3 FCs on US side. Correction, 2 FCs. Sarah, wait, 1 FC. Sarah and Estrella dropped right near the end. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
BC, extremely impressive performance from him. The overall act of the US team is just too strong.
Yeah, they're all very consistent and very close. And normally we do see that with Canada, but it seems like they're definitely struggling today.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, with these more balanced maps and a little bit higher speed, even though they are extremely strong act players, they definitely struggle more so with the speed.
Yeah, maybe Canada's just a little bit worried. I think this is the first time they're super scared going into a match. So
Yeah, I mean, I'd put Canada over every other team other than the US in a head-to-head. So
from USA, I don't know if they're gonna be whipping out like booths of fighters or anything like that, but I could definitely see something more technical coming out on their side. I feel like they're really confident in the technical maps. So, oh yeah, it's Canada's pick. I'm out of it today, but Canada is gonna pick up back now.
yeah, and Canada picks that act map. You know, they're hoping they can get a point on the board. And it's very likely they could outperform on these act maps. No, they're gonna put in all their act gods for this map, and you could see SFK popping off with like a 98 or something like that. You never know. So
Yeah, these act maps are actually pretty quick, and they're definitely really hard to get a 98 on, especially without a ton of practice. But I think that it's not too out of the ordinary or unexpected to be able to see both USA and Canada pulling pretty close to 98. So I don't think the gap is going to be huge. Thought Crime, it has a little bit more technicality. It's got like some complex streams going on, but once again, it's a little bit slower, so it's not like it's going to cause you to miss as much as it is just hard to act when you're moving your sabers left to right that much in a stream.
yeah, of course.
Because when the notes are coming at you pretty fast and you're trying to get 115s, it's really hard to hit the middle of the note during a stream.
Yeah, there's pretty much no way that SFK is outperformed on any form of act map. He's just way too good at accuracy maps, but you never know. The whole team that the US has could outperform, because the whole point of a team tournament is that one player can't carry.
Yeah. Another good note about this map is during a chorus, this map has some doubles and jumps, and you know, you kind of alternate between having your arms go down together and then like scissors, so they're opposing. And I know that that is really hard for some act players to get those really well, especially if you're trying to move your body around a lot. So it'll be interesting to see how people act those for sure. So for Canada, we got the God lineup. We got Flea, Abby, SFK, and Whisper. And then for USA, we also got their set of legends. We got Estrella, Zyrex, Garsh, and Snowy.
Yeah, and this Canadian lineup, these are 4 of the best act players in the world. I'd say only Pandita could compete with these players.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So it's very possible that they could like outperform the US on this map.
I could see Rocker competing against a few of them
Yeah,
too.
I'd say that
Like,
as well. Rocker is very strong.
these players from Canada, like they play act for hours every day. Like they'd rather play act than speed most of the time. So they're really well practiced in it, and they're actually falling behind. Which
yeah, getting off to the start, it's to be expected that the teams will go back and forth a little bit. Once they get towards the middle of the song, we'll have a better idea of what the performance of each team overall might be. Definitely really, really close so far. SFK holding that 98. But over on the US side, 97.5 across the board.
Yeah, I think the doubles are really when you're going to see these players separate in their skills. Um, yeah, it's really close though, and it could go either way at any point. Like
It's,
it's
it's
not.
extremely close.
It's a 4 minute and 10 second map, so like really we're gonna be sitting on the edge of our seats the entire time here, and you know, obviously because it's accuracy, a miss is just fatal. But you know,
Definitely.
when it's 4 minutes and 10 seconds, it can happen.
Yeah, and it looks like US is holding over a tiny percentage difference. You know, a slightly off cut could make the difference between this map being a win for Canada and a win for the US. With these angles that you're seeing, it's a little bit harder to act than something that's up and down. So the US could have a little bit of an advantage on something with more angles. But
Yeah, they do have a lot of horizontal and you know, diagonal notes mixed in, like you were saying. And I think that if Canada loses this, it's going to be a crushing blow to them because
definitely.
this was like their quote unquote guaranteed win. It's not really what they were saying. They were still a little bit worried about ACK, but I think a lot of people really assumed that the ACK map would just be the guaranteed win for Canada.
Oh, and Whisper misses.
Whisper,
Oh,
no.
that
Yeah,
could be the song right there. I don't think there's a miss coming from the US in this song.
yeah. I mean, there's still lots of time left, but if the US doesn't miss, Canada
Ah,
is. Wait, what?
yeah.
Oh, I wrote the time down wrong. I wrote 4 minutes and 10 seconds instead of 2 minutes. I'm a dummy.
So, and Canada's one shot, one opportunity goes down in flames. The US taking a 3-0 lead over Canada.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate for Canada. Whisper kind of had like a little bit of a shit miss there,
Yeah,
which
and
I mean, you can't really. There's not a whole ton to say about it. It's just really unfortunate because
yep.
like it happens, but
And that just goes to show the pressure that comes from a tournament setting. Whisper's one of the best ACK players in the world. He's very consistent on the ACK maps, but the pressure got to him, and he missed. And like I said before the map, you know, one miss could be the difference between a win and a loss. And Canada being the team that missed is unexpected.
yeah, Canada really needs to find something they can win like right now, even though it's like
In the Garden is their only chance.
yeah, I think in the garden is pretty much their only chance. I mean, if they really wanted to be wacky, you could like do boosts of fighters, but it could go anywhere. And I just don't think that they have an easy win for them anymore. And I think that the rest of the maps here, it's just going to be hard to claw back for the win.
And it looks like the US is going to go with Kronir, you know. That next highest speed map to Shimbatsu, kind of expected. I think the US is going to absolutely decimate on this map. I don't think Canada has any chance at all.
You know, I think it'd be great if all the remaining maps Canada just decimated on, but I'm hoping for it. But I don't think it's gonna happen. I think that, you know, this is it for Canada here.
Yeah. I'm expecting a really strong performance out of the US. We could see like a good performance out of the Canadian players. They could be, you know, within a percentage of ACK, but with two teams like the US and Canada, 1% ACK is a huge difference.
Yeah. No, especially at the scores they're getting, like you don't see anything under like a 94. And that's it's tough to be up there.
Definitely.
And 1% gap in there is just huge. So we're
That's
gonna see
absolutely
Barrett,
massive.
Garsh, Estrella, Zyrex for Canada. I mean for USA, and then for Canada we are going to be seeing BC, Flea, Monster Wook, and Electro stats. Who knows? Maybe Electro has found the way to harness the Thunder Gods, and you know maybe he has a ace up his sleeve against the USA, going to strike him with some lightning.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how Canada performs, just to see if they can really hold up to the US players. I could see Flea just having a really strong performance. I could see BC and Electro, you know, being up there with them. Wook is a strong player in his on his own, but I think the rest of those 3 players will definitely be the anchor for Canada.
Yeah. I think that if Canada does lose this, it might be it might actually be something a little bit positive for them, and they might go back with their coach Zorro and practice really hard, take it back in the losers bracket finals, and then we might see them playing against the US again, and maybe then they'll take a map or even bracket reset.
Yeah, that is my expectation is for I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm expecting a US win right here. So I'm just gonna assume Canada's going down to the losers bracket, but I'm expecting a US Canada grand final.
Oh yeah, I think so too. I think I like my prediction, whoever lost this, it didn't really matter. It was going to be a US Canada grand final.
Definitely. And coming out of the sink, let's see how these teams perform against each other.
Yeah, I think that third place is going to be a big competition going on too next week.
I'm pretty confident the UK will take that third slot. They're almost as strong as Canada. I really think they could have a good head to head with Canada.
Whoa, Cooling and Olaf are in chat. You can't just say that.
I, I think the UK has an edge over the Netherlands. Oh,
Yeah.
BC missing on the first stream intro. A Flea as well. Looks like he struggled with that burst.
Yeah, it's really fast. Like it's just really hard to keep up with. Flea actually dropped quite a few.
Yeah, Sarah, the only one to miss on the US team. He gave himself a bit of a head tilt there, a little bit upset at himself.
But as you see, like most of the American players have a 95 right now, whereas like with the Canadians, you're seeing like 93 on Wook and BC, but Electro and Flea are falling behind.
Yeah, Flea looks like he's really struggling on this kind of thing. You hate to see it.
You're really struggling to keep up a combo, but this is just not their kind of map, you know?
Yeah, and I'd like to mention Estrella holding a 96. Absolutely disgusting, but to be expected from him. Extremely strong at these speed maps. He's one of the best speed players there is.
Yeah, whenever I think of just hectically swinging your sabers at a map, I think of Estrella.
Definitely.
If you ever watch Estrella play, it is amazing.
Man, the performance from the US players is just astounding. You know, we're looking at a 4% difference here between these teams. You know, Flea, unfortunately, is really bringing his team down. It looks like he's having a hard time with this map. Lots of windows, lots of fast bursts and angles, and really having a hard time.
Yeah, Flea's weakness, like he excels in everything but high speed. I mean, he's not bad at high speed normally, but it definitely does show his weaknesses. Yeah, this map has a ton of little breaks in it, but it is like 5 minutes of pain for Canada here.
Definitely.
Like USA has a 3% lead on this match.
Yeah, and it looks like Garsh holding it down for the US. Estrella coming back up to pass him in ACK almost, but Garsh is outperforming Estrella right now.
Yeah, Zyrex is actually on an FC too.
Yeah, all of them performing very admirably. Sarah, I think, has 2 misses, holding up the 94.5. You know, strong performance still. But the other 3 players from the US having an insane performance.
Looks like BC is a little bit exhausted here, and you don't really expect to see that from BC. Like, Canada is just really struggling to keep up any sort of combo here. Flea now keeping a higher combo, but it just doesn't show in his act because he lost so much early on.
Yeah, I mean, he is climbing back up to that 91.5. We're a little bit over halfway through the song. I don't know if he's going to be able to climb back up enough to make a difference. You know, we're looking at a 2.5% act difference.
I don't know how Flea missed that, but it looked like a late swing of exhaustion, and it was really unfortunate. You saw a head shake from Flea, which you rarely ever see.
Rarely see. You never see Flea get tilted at himself.
It wasn't anything big, but when it's Flea, it's big. There's a lot of streams in the map now, kind of after this point, so
yeah, this is the biggest part that's going to make a difference between these two teams.
Yeah, it was a little bit of time to relax, and Flea actually bad cutting a note right off the start there.
Yeah, he's really struggling.
The USA though is like doing extremely well. You know, like Garsh is still on an FC, controlling this. I just cursed him so hard. He had a 2,300 note combo, and you know, anywho, Zyrex and Estrella also doing really well. Zyrex is at that 94.69. Now back up to now 0.7. Estrella still over a 95.5. Just because of his accuracy on these fast songs, like being able to keep up that high accuracy on this kind of song is just insane.
Yeah, extremely impressive. And I mean, to piggyback off of that, you know, he just set a 95 on Melancholia. I believe it was this morning. So Estrella, his dominance on the speed maps is nothing to scoff at.
Isn't just Melancholia his map?
Yes, it is.
That's hilarious.
So him feeding himself some PP and coming up towards the end of the map, it's just a blowout.
Yeah, it just goes really hard for the end here. And, you know, Canada really struggling to break any combo over 1,000. Whereas, like, you see a lot of the US players were consistently having combos over 1,000. Estrella actually dropping there. I don't think any players really lasted to that burst besides Zyrex.
Yeah, and Zyrex with an impressive combo towards the end. All the US players playing extremely well. And
Barrett just really ahead, or did he intro skip the end?
I'm actually not sure. I think maybe streams are out of sync. Okay.
Okay, so Sarah's fine. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
It was really weird for me, but it seems like as long as there's no issues or a tracking call, it seems like USA is going to take this one. And I think even if there was tracking on Canada's end,
There's no way.
It's just not their kind of map, and you know they're not going to be able to climb it back.
Yeah. And the US just asserting their dominance on these higher level maps. There's not a team in this tournament that can compete with the US on the higher end maps, and when it comes to it in the grand finals, I don't think there's a chance anyone can beat them.
Yeah,
Knowing what the grand finals map pool looks like, yeah.
USA, you know, continuing on to grand finals, still undefeated. They have not lost a map in a match yet, besides some warm-ups. And, you know, Canada put up a really good fight, but I think that first match there, they really had a chance of doing all right. I don't think they were going to win it, even if Hiron didn't miss very early on. But, and I think in AC, actually, they may have been a little beat.
Yeah, I was reading the chat and keeping up with the info from the current match text, and there was enough of a score difference. Even without Whisper's miss, the US would have taken the AC map.
And I mean, these are two really close teams too, right? Like USA and Canada are pretty much the same culture. Canadians may talk a little funny sometimes.
But, the US can talk a little funny too.
You ever hear of Baston? But yeah, both teams played exceedingly well, played to their best, and I think that they're definitely cracking jokes in the post-match chat. Both teams did really well. US, you know, once again, like we were saying, they don't really have to say that they're the best because it just shows. And you know, Canada put up a really good fight. They did have a couple issues, but I think that this is actually good for Canada to get absolutely stomped because I think that it's really gonna make them improve as players. I think that in this one they came in with a lot of nerves and felt underprepared, whereas in the next one they might come in a lot stronger.
Yeah, and it looks like we might be getting an interview with someone from this match. You know, this match being one of the most hype matches in the entire tournament. Everyone looking forward to that US versus Canada match. You know, having an interview to kind of have that perspective from either one of the teams would be great.
We're trying to start out an interview here really quick. I want to grab Whisper because he missed on the... But... I think
looks like we may or may not have that opportunity. It looks like everyone's kind of dipped out, doing their own thing at this point.
Yeah, we will see. Just asking Sam who he can get. Can we actually get binary? I think that'd be hilarious, but also totally the wrong match. So let's look at this one right now. Yeah, let's get BC in here.
Awesome. Yeah, BC would be a good person to talk to.
Yeah, I think BC played really well. Estrella, thank you for the raid. Just drag him in. Alma, can you get that done? Hello. BC.
Hello.
You put
How's
up
it
a
going?
really good performance out there, man. You
Dude.
outscored Estrella for quite a while there.
Okay, I did go on that second map, but the third map, I messed up so hard.
Yeah, right in the beginning, it seemed like you kind of were a little out of it.
Throughout the whole thing, dude, I missed so much. Like, right before that, I literally just got number 1 on the map with, like, an FC, and then I just messed up so hard.
Did you say nerves were a major factor for the Canadian players this time around?
Yeah. Yeah, so Electro, he was, like, he kind of didn't like the whole map pool. So,
Yeah.
I kind of got him off a little bit. Just because he thought he wasn't really good at any of them, which I think he did pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely didn't have a weak performance. I think maybe he has a higher standard for himself, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at least this time he didn't get hit by lightning or anything, so.
Right.
Oh yeah. He actually did say there was a thunderstorm near him. A
That's
lightning storm.
hilarious. Oh my god. Oh, I'm so sorry. Thank God I didn't have him this time though. So did the match go pretty much how you expected, BC? Like, did you guys expect to really take much off the USA?
We definitely expected to
Take the
take
act map?
take the act map down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How'd
that
you
was
guys
definitely
feel
surprising.
when Whisper missed right near the end? It was so unfortunate.
Yeah. It was
Yeah,
pretty lucky.
Yeah, I mean,
I
really,
wanna-
it could happen to anyone though. Like sometimes you just miss, but you know, it was probably one of the worst times for it to happen.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't want to rag on him too hard because really, if he didn't miss, he still would have lost. So, the U.S. had like 2,000 points on them, even if he didn't miss.
Yeah, I think everyone was just kind of out of it, just kind of thinking. I think, everyone's just kind of thinking like, oh, we have like no chance, USA. Uh, yeah, and I think it just kind of got the knee pretty well, and at the end, I guess.
Yeah.
It's understandable. They have a hard time performing on the songs before, and then the last one is definitely one that Canadian players are gonna be like, "Yeah, I don't think we have a chance on this one." So definitely like kicking them
Yeah.
while they're down.
Yeah.
The last map, um, three of us were. I think three of us are pretty good at it, but Flea, I don't think he really likes the map. And then I just choked really, really hard. And then I actually don't know how the other two did, but I know Flea messed up.
Yeah.
So,
We messed up, and I
pretty
think
much.
Wook and Electra ended up dropping a few too. But like, pretty much everyone on your team was at least 1% behind
Yeah.
US players.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could really tell that the mental state of Canada was really different coming to this match. Like on the other map pools and the other matches, you normally see Canada being very consistent. All the players had very similar scores, and there weren't very many combo drops, like maybe one or two misses. But this time, it seemed to be pretty everywhere, and it seemed to be due to the mental state of the players.
I think it's just a high pressure situation.
Yeah.
Everyone hoping for the chance at having a good fight against the U.S.
Yeah, it was also pretty hard because on our team, we have the 4 ACK players, right? But then we
Mhm.
have 5 people who kind of they're only good at like a few things, right? So we got two or three people that are good at like speed maps, and then two of us are good at like faster tech maps, but none of us are all like on the same thing. So we're just kind of too split up, I think. You know?
Yeah, I think Canada's team is definitely a team of specialists, I'd say.
Yeah.
Whereas the US is a team of very, very well-rounded players.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think when you get put against a generalist team like the USA, the flaws within the very specialized group of people in Canada tend to pop up, even though you guys would totally decimate other teams.
Mm-hmm.
Are you excited to play in losers finals and get a chance for a rematch against USA?
Yeah. I'm excited to see the map pool for grand finals. Everyone's spamming BSR in chat. What map is that?
That's a PPV1, I can guarantee it.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, it's only 3 characters. I think they're voluntary map for the grand finals, you know. But the unfortunate part about going down to losers finals is now you guys have to practice 2 map pools instead of 1.
Yeah. I think it would. I think it'll be fine. Are they both the matches there next week?
I think they are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alma could clarify, but I think that's correct. And you know, is there anything different you guys are going to do to practice for next week? Because you guys haven't had to do 2 map pools yet.
Probably not. Just play them.
For
Respectable
sure.
answer.
Yeah.
What do you think will be the outcome of the UK versus South Korea?
UK versus South UK.
Yeah, I'd
I think.
agree.
Yeah, I think South Korea, they have pirates, and then everyone else is like below 100, right?
Yeah.
UK.
I don't know if Manabe is below 100, but
Uh,
yeah, but that's pretty close.
Yeah, and then UK. I think they have quite a few people in top 100. Maybe I think.
Yes, they do.
Yeah. Yeah, they
They've
have quite a
been
few people in top
grinding
100.
a lot recently.
Yeah, they got Denya, Dexy. Who else? They got Harbgy, Jack. Yeah, they all got people. Like they have enough people. They have 4 people in top 100. So I think, almost top 50. But I think, Denya isn't on the team. Okay, well, still 4 people in
I
top.
was gonna
top
say
100.
something, but like, you know, I wasn't sure.
I'm just looking on Score Saber. Well, still, I think they have. Yeah, they just have higher ranked players overall, but South Korea only has like 1 person that's like really high ranked and like really good, and then everyone else is below top 100. So I think UK definitely.
I think South Korea's been doing above expectations in speed, but yeah, I think they do really suffer in AC. And against a team like UK, it's just they're just another one of those powerhouses. Like all the top 4 teams were really strong throughout the brackets.
Yeah, the problem with this, like I think the problem with this kind of tournament is mostly the scoring system. Like you look in Osu, they have a scoring system where like you can just have 1 person pop off and they can just carry their whole team, right?
Yeah, definitely.
It's a lot less of that. You really need your whole team to be high ranked, right?
Yeah.
So even if you have 1 person who's like number 1 in this, it won't matter if you have like 3 other people that are in like top like 50 to 25, right? You're probably still gonna lose at that point, but like in Osu, you could definitely carry your team. I think it's just. Yeah.
I think that their system is like a hybrid between like an individualistic tournament and, you know, a team-based tournament, whereas this is just more pure team, and it really favors the teams. who made a lot of good players, but you know,
Yeah, it's basically gonna
same time it's
mostly favor USA every time because I think they have like 50% of the player base.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
And the Osu scoring is definitely, it makes for more entertaining matches because the hype of someone just outperforming compared to everyone else is just like nutty compared to like watching a whole team just decimate
Dude.
another team.
dude, new like, is it PPV3 now? Right now? Is it
Ah,
PPV3 or
I
PPV?
think so, yeah.
Okay, well PPV4 should just be a whole new scoring system. OC scoring system. I want it, dude.
Oh, I thought we were talking about. I thought we were talking about Osu.
No, now we're talking about Beat Saber.
I think we're still on PP.
Yeah, we're PPV2.
We're still on PPV2?
Yeah.
Okay, PPV3.
Just change to Osu scoring system. See how that goes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
For Osu. Okay. Anyways, BC, I think that we're gonna grab Binary up here. He has an announcement to make.
Okay.
And thank you for letting us interview you. And good luck in your matches next week.
Thank you. And yeah, thanks guys.
Thanks for coming on.
Alright, see ya.
Bye.
Check us out tomorrow. The next confirmed match is UK versus South Korea. You guys can figure out how that works out. And it is at 13 UTC. We are going to be rating Goku's?
Goikuas.
Goikuas.
Yes, Frenchman.